Howdy tubers, welcome back to the Zach Life. So here's my little project behind me. As you can probably tell, it looks quite a bit different now than it did the last time you saw it. I didn't show much of what went on here because it was too boring to do. So basically all we did is bolted the leaf springs in, bolted the rear end in, sandblasted the rear end, rattle canned all this stuff flat white, mounted the tires, mounted the front fork, and dropped the fork down over the front tire. So what I want to try to do in this video is I'd like to try to drive it. These things are simple. There's not much there. We're going to work on the motor, pick up some batteries, drop some batteries in it, do some wiring. I got nearly all the stuff ordered. Got nearly all the stuff here to make it move. Okay, so I'm going to work on the motor here. I've already popped this little cover off of it. I did this about a week ago. It just had a screw in the bottom of it. Here's the nameplate. This thing is 2.1 horsepower at 36 volt, 57 amps, intermittent duty cycle, 60-degree temperature rise, 2800 RPMs, 26 kilograms. I don't know if that's its weight or if that's its torque. That's probably weight. I don't know. Made in Poland. Anyway, the brushes look pretty good in this thing, except one of them. This one is missing its spring, and I looked around. It was not in here anywhere. And this brush looks, relatively speaking, brand new. It's actually right to the end of the brush holder. These others are worn a little bit, but they look good. I don't think there's any reason to replace the brushes. But I'm going to tripod you here, and we're going to take some bolts out of it and scatter this thing, and we'll discuss it as we get it apart. Well, right there's the spring. Okay, somewhat interestingly, for whatever reason, this spring here, wherever it went, let's see, I guess it hooked from here to there, has smoked, and this one looks like it has almost smoked as well. In fact, it just broke right there. So I need some springs. Let's go and pull these springs out of here. This is the bearing retainer plate that the screws I just pulled out of went to. And here's the bearing. This bearing feels pretty rough. As I suspected, here's the seal. So I'm going to get on the phone and see if I can find a seal and a bearing real quick. Okay, so I don't see any big major blow-ups here. You can tell that the spring got in the armature here. It's got a kind of a groove cut through here. So I believe I'm going to go ahead and disassemble the brush end here. I don't expect to see anything wrong, but I'm a little bit concerned why it looks like two of those springs were blowed up. I'd like to just pull this apart really quickly and take a look at it. We might have some carbon or something in it we need to knock out of there. All of this stuff looks like it's been extremely hot. I don't necessarily think that that's an indication of a problem, and it's probably all okay, but I don't really like it. Okay, next day. So I took this stuff yesterday evening, put it in my bead blaster, just sort of dusted it all to knock the loose dirt and rust and stuff off of it, and then spray painted it a satin black. I have got new bearings and new seals. Let's throw this thing together. Okay, everything looks good to me there. Alright, next we'll slip the stator over it. Do they call the stator in a DC motor? I'm not sure. Alright, we've got the two long bolts here that go through these little insulation tubes, keep the bolts from shorting out to anything. Alright, looks good to me. I have yet to blast this and paint it. We'll put the cover over the brushes later. So I spent the last day or so taking a bunch of oddball little parts, a brake pedal, gas pedal, whatnot, and putting them in my bead blaster, sort of dusting them and rattle canning them. At this point, I'm ready to start bolting stuff on here. I don't know how to keep from making this boring. I think I'm going to sort of do a little montage or something of just bolting stuff on there. I'll go back and try to make more of it make sense later, but I'm just going to start bolting stuff on it basically. Okay, I think I got the wiring here good enough that it actually should move now, and I wanted to go over how this works. So, you know, obviously we don't have any batteries yet, but this will be the 48 volts positive wire. This wire comes in to this, and this is a contactor, a big relay, and this is controlled by a micro switch that's in this. Now this is a potentiometer micro switch combination. It'll have a rod that's hooked to the gas pedal. It's just not hooked up yet, but this would be, you know, stopped, and this would be full throttle. I hope you can kind of see what I'm actuating here. Anyway, when you first touch the throttle, it closes this micro switch. Now this wire here will also be positive, but it'll go through a fuse and a key switch up here that I don't have yet. But anyway, when you touch the throttle, this switch closes and power goes through here, the small point of this contactor. This will be the negative side of the contactor, and this contactor closes. Now, as I said to begin with, power comes into here, it comes out of here and goes into the rotor, into the brushes, into the commutator. This will always be positive, and this will always be negative of the commutator. Now, in a series wound motor, if you reverse the polarity of the motor, it always still goes the same direction. What you have to do is reverse the polarity of the field in relation to the commutator. So anyway, this is positive. We've got another cable comes off here that's a positive reference to the controller. This is used, I'm not going to quite get into that, but with some reactive power and stuff. But anyway, we got power coming in here. The positive comes out here from the commutator. It comes into this switch into the bottom here. Now what this switch does is, say in reverse, it connects these two and these two. In forward, it would connect these two and these two. And anyway, so basically we've got power coming from here to this forward reverse switch, out of the forward reverse switch, back to the field terminal. Back out of the field terminal, back to this switch, to the other post, back to the ground. This is actually where the controller controls the output, so to speak. This is the output. The output of the controller is actually negative instead of positive. And then we're missing a ground wire. I don't know if you can see, there's a ground stud here. This will go from here back to the battery. Anyway, I got some batteries. I'm gonna come drop some batteries in this thing, and we'll hook the batteries up. All right, so I've got all the batteries hooked up. This big cable was if you're wondering, was like come with a big power inverter or something I bought. I'm gonna have to have a long cable. I'm gonna get some plugs and stuff because I've got to be able to split this up into two 24-volt battery banks so that I can hook it into my motorhome, basically charge it with my RV, and then of course so you can run the RV off this or partially off this as well. It's ready to go. The contactor clicks. I hadn't put it in gear yet. It should move. This is a honest to God first time I'm fixing to get on it. The gas pedal's not hooked up, but I got a piece of Romex hooked to that little deal. You can hear it clicking the relay, and you should be able to pull on that and make it go. I gotta find something to sit on. There's a piece of wood right here. Probably just sit on the batteries, but I don't want to actually sit on the battery terminals. Let's get a little GoPro in here. All right, I don't know which way's forward. Not that way. It moved. I don't know if y'all can see anything, but this thing took off. Of course, not having a seat and everything probably makes it go faster and no brakes. Throttle's pretty touchy. What do you think about that? Ain't got no brakes. Ah. Well, tubers, I think that's probably gonna make the video. I said I wanted to drive it in this video, and that's what I did. So I got to call it and say it's over. I probably gonna kind of put this on the back burner for now. It rolls and it moves, and that's gonna let me sort of work on my trailer and get it finished. I think next week I'm going to spend a day. It's going to take me a while to do it. I'd like to try to do my fuel efficiency test thing on my generator in my motorhome. I think that's going to be kind of neat. But anyway, like I said, I'm going to kind of throw this on the back burner. I'll probably work on this a little bit as next couple of weeks go by. And you know, I'll video some of that. We'll put another video up kind of finishing this. I got to get a seat belt. I got a couple of cables ordered for the brakes. That's the only thing it lacks is the actual cable that goes to the wheels. The brakes look pretty good. Put the little link that goes from the gas pedal to the little pot down there. Probably just take all the body panels for now. I'm going to epoxy them so we can screw them on there if we want to take it somewhere. But other than that, I mean, it doesn't really lack that much. It doesn't feel like I've done a lot to it, but it didn't really, I don't know, simple enough. It's not that big of a project, I guess. But anyway, I guess that's about the size of it. I appreciate you watching. Like, share, subscribe, all the good things, and we'll catch you on something next week.